Good morning. Today is Saturday. This is not going to be one of my usual Kung Fu lessons, although it does usually follow the concept of Kung Fu as being a daily practice. Um, on Tuesday night, we had a catastrophe at our ranch. We have a giant oak tree near our property, kind of on the neighbor's property bordering our property. And two huge branches came down and smashed and devastated the entire yard. Many of you have been watching my videos for a while, have seen my usual Kung Fu practice area and the background and how beautiful it looks. In fact, just recently in the last video, one of the subscribers commented on how beautiful a place it was to practice Tai Chi. So there's going to be a lot of work to do. It ends up that I'm burdened with the job of cleaning up all this by myself. There's nobody else to help me. I'm not in a position to fork out thousands of dollars for hire somebody. But you have to do what you have to do. And so this lesson today, and what I want to talk about is basically the concept of perseverance. And perseverance comes from your long years of discipline of being able to do one thing, one daily practice, one day after another. Perseverance comes from a deep part of you that no matter what, you're just going to take it a little bit at a time. One of the things I always remember is our Zen master when I lived in the Zen community. One day he gave a talk about if you think about all the dishes that you have to wash in your lifetime, it would be overwhelming. And he kind of said, when you have a task to do, think only about the immediate thing at hand, and that will get you through. He said, even if you have to move a pile 10 times, instead of doing it the most efficient way, sometimes that's the best route to go and just go ahead and do it. And that is kind of my task today, moving these huge amounts of brush that first I had to cut the brush, then I had to stack it. And because it's in my yard and kind of still a fire danger, I have to move it to this other pile. And so I take, Kung Fu is about taking your experiences from your past disciplines and applying it to whatever you have to do. That's why I definitely believe in the idea of cross disciplines and the concept of Kung Fu being carried through many disciplines. So just as I did a video on how I had to weed eat a 1.5 acre field and made it into my Kung Fu discipline, these last 4 days I've had to use that same principle in trying to move this humongous amount of debris. I guess yesterday I got kind of depressed after the third day, knowing that nobody might be coming and trying to figure out how to handle this catastrophe. But today I feel more bright on the side, trying to think of it as a concept of a lesson in life. Seems like lately I've been handed a lot of lessons. We had another tree that took me 3 weeks to clean up, and then I had the 1.5 acre field to mow, which took me over a week and a half. And then now we're doing the firewood pile, which is going to take, I only got 8 cords done. I have 3 more cords to do. It's almost the fall when the leaves are going to fall. I have to do all the leaf cleanup. Living on a ranch takes a lot of work, so I can't complain. I love living up here with the animals and the ranch and the wildlife. So you take the good with the bad, and this is the bad, but you try to make it into what you can. So I'm going to give you kind of a tour of what I'm doing today. So I'm going to insert this film of right after the incident of what it looked like. That's the giant oak, and the bottom 2 branches fell into the yard and just pretty much decimated the yard. Luckily, this fence, the background for many of my Kung Fu videos, did survive, and the gate got smashed, and that part of the fence got smashed. So for now, when I clean up, it'll go back to looking pretty much like it did before. So this is after 3 days of cleanup. All this whole area here was all covered in brush and debris, and so I'm kind of slowly working my way through and unraveling the path to the house. And then there's this huge branch coming down over the fence, which I'll have to clean up. I think that's going to be another 3 days from now. This is exactly the same thing. You just take one, if you divide the work up into little bits, and then kind of just might take your mindset and focus on that one pile, then one pile. Just as my Zen teacher said, just concentrate on the work in front of you. Okay, it's 2 o'clock, and I got the tree cut in line with the Blackstone path. So that was my goal. I got all the piles moved, and so basically I just have all this leaf litter throughout the garden that I'm going to rake up, put onto a tarp, and drag over to the brush pile, and that'd be the close of the day for today. Thank you. Well, I managed to make some progress yesterday, even though it was a daunting task. As the I Ching says, perseverance furthers. So that was my motif yesterday as I worked. I'll take you on a tour of what I got accomplished. You can see this big pile behind me, and of course my donkey Adam thinks that it's the greatest snack bar in the world. So we'll take a little tour. This pile of brush that I accumulated yesterday is about over 30 feet long, about 15 feet wide, and about 5 feet high. A humongous pile, probably the largest pile of brush I've ever accumulated. Hopefully, the power company will honor his agreement and come and chip all this up. They initially were supposed to do the entire cleanup, but I decided to just go ahead and do it myself. We still have this section over on the right to do. Either leave it for the cleanup crew or just work on it today by myself. But what I did do was manage to move all the brush out of the yard and clear around all of our surviving landscape plants and rake all the leaves and the litter. And so now we're back to some semblance of order. I told my wife it was like order in the chaos. The goal yesterday was to clear this flagstone path so that we could have a straight walk to the house. Before yesterday, we could even walk through here. The weeping cedar survived, but lost a branch. It used to go kind of right to the path. We still have some nice trees left. A lot of things survive. The birdhouse survives. But I realize that the universe is handing me another lesson in perseverance. And this, what I'm talking about this morning, the idea of perseverance, that when life comes along and gives you a hardship to deal with, you deal with it the best that you can, and you try to like learn life's lesson from it. That's all you can do, and you just take it one bit at a time. As I'm trying to show you, if you approach the humongous task just one little bit at a time and not try to think about the best efficient way, the cheapest way to do it, the most expensive way to do it, hiring people. Myself, I've never been in a position where I've been able to hire a large amount of people to do, my construction or work. I've gotten used to doing most of the work by myself, so it's nothing new for me. But you just have to take it a little bit at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time, and eventually it'll get accomplished. That's my look outlook in life, and using my kung fu practice as part of the bones and structure to accomplish things. That's really my deepest understanding. So that's the lesson for today. It's kind of a little bit of a sidetrack from our normal lessons, but again, I do these little lessons on the side, lessons and tips, because I kind of keep emphasizing that Kung Fu is more than just Chinese martial arts form practice that you do or whatever you consider your discipline. Kung Fu is actually your whole discipline throughout life and how you apply that other discipline to what you need to accomplish, even if it's not fit within the parameters of what you consider your concept of Kung Fu is. So today, cleaning up after a major catastrophe from the falling tree is my Kung Fu for today. So thank you.